Welcome everyone. Welcome to this free session online. Here is Enric. Magic Enric is my name, my creative name, and I enjoy a lot working with energies, working for a change, for discover more of who we are, each of us. Okay, we are also a collective. We are also connected by the same energy, by being human beings, having a being, a soul. You can call it in different ways. And having a body, a human body, that's also what makes us to be in the same group, of a species and being in the planet. Okay, if we wouldn't have body, human body, we would not be in this planet probably, or would be doing something different. So even if we make that for granted and say, like, of course, what stupidity are you saying? Yeah, but when we go beyond the things, beyond what's in the rational mind, we start to see that we are not alone, that life is not just about the physical body and the matter, the material part. There is more. Okay. So that's why I say these things. And yeah, but then it's like my purpose is that each of us, we can connect more with ourselves. We can be more aligned towards our truth. And that's why the topic of today it's about hearing or listening to your voice. Okay, to what voice are you listening to? Okay, that's also something interesting to start to realize when you are hearing a voice in your head. What is this voice? Okay, normally we would say, oh yeah, this is me, right? This is me. I'm listening to myself. Whatever I say to myself, it's me. But the truth is that when you get into the energetics, in the, into the consciousness, into be more aware, you can see that the voices your head is reproducing, the way you are talking to your head, to yourself, is not always yourself, or it's not necessarily yourself. Okay, that's also something we have to understand that that our mind is a receiver. It's like a computer, it's a transmitter, receiving information, also reproducing the information or recreating the information, or spreading it also, that information around us or in us. And here's where it comes again, the question, so where is this voice come from? Okay, so something important is to see that many times these thoughts that we are having, these ideas, these voices, are coming from the things that are around us. Okay, if we have a lot of people around us, and then we start to think like, oh, I'm so whatever, or I'm so, stupid myself, I'm so useless, I'm so, I don't know, I'm not excited about anything. Of course it can be a personal process, but when it comes a lot from this, talkative mind, probably we are just reproducing frequency. It's like what we said in previous Zooms, there's frequencies, right? So it's like almost like the radio station. We are tuning into a station. So that's what we do energetically, but also with our mind. It's like we are saying things to ourselves, like, oh, I'm not trusting what I do. I'm not sure about what I'm doing. I'm confused. So what happened? That then we are reproducing these frequencies. Okay. And it's also simple as imagine like everyone around you, that they are all in a high frequency, super lovely, super spacious, super joyful, trusting each other, supporting each other. So how would you actually then resonate, or how would you be vibrate, How would be your frequency? So probably it would be easier for you to tune into that frequency, right? Is that clear? Is that example? I use it for me to understand, like, okay, how is that I easily get distracted, right? Of course, it's my commitment, my job, let's say, to be able to switch the frequency. But definitely, I say this because if you see that, then you can understand that sometimes you are not very bright, or you are not very constructive with your thoughts and the voice that you are talking to yourself, okay? So that's very important to have it clear that many times you are just reproducing what's around you, okay? What's around you, the people, the places, the places also keep the energy in that place, if there is a lot of people there daily and then now it's empty, but there's still the energy is there. Okay, so all these things is just good to be aware because then with that you can be a bit more sharp, you can be a bit more present and say, okay, wait a moment. These voice I'm hearing here, it's not even me. It's not me at all. Okay. Even at the first time, at the first moment, you feel like, oh yeah, it's me. Like, oh, again, I feel this way. Some of these voices or sentences or judgments that we say to ourselves, we took them as something very, ours, as it, oh, this is mine, this is me, this is how I've been telling myself how I am for many years. That's why you make it yours, you make it as, oh, this is how I feel, this is how I am. And then guess what? This reminds also on your system. Okay, that's also something that we can clear. We can clear our mind, our system, but then just be aware of that we are also picking from others and from the places, as I said, right? It's also easy to see this when you go to a natural place, for example, a very beautiful place that is it doesn't have a charge on all these frequencies, on all these thoughts and voices, and then you are there and it's like, oh, I just feel so good. Okay, that's what is resonating into your body from the place where you are. Okay, so that's very important. Someone says a comment in the chat. I feel so drained after getting traffic jam. Yeah, yeah. That's a very good example also when you're in the traffic jam, because probably there's also all this tension and all this almost frustration or upset even from being in the traffic jam. And then yeah, it's a clear example to see how it works, okay? With that, we will not say, okay, we have to avoid everything because every space with every place where there's people we have to avoid it. Probably we cannot do that due to our lifestyle and we live in society, right? I mean, we need to engage with people or be around people or groups of people and all these kind of things, so it's not wrong. And also probably we cannot avoid it. Of course, if you can, yes. I do myself that. I mean, not from avoiding it, but just, if I have free time, free choice, I would choose probably to be in a place that I feel comfortable, that nurtures me, and not in a place that is full of mess and all this, right? So we have choice, but also what is important is to get empowered, to get powerful, to see that okay, I'm feeling cranky or I'm feeling not so good, and this is not me. It's not my energy. It's not my voice. Okay? So that's something very important. Then for sure, as you might know, many of you, there's also entities. Uh, that means beings that they don't have body, human beings or people that they used to be a person and there's not anymore a body and they're still here. They are still in the space, in the air, you know, in this planet. That's also not a voice that we can be hearing. And guess what? What we said before about resonance, if I'm resonating to an energy, let's say I pick that energy of crankiness, whatever, upset, sadness, any kind of these low frequency energies, and then suddenly I start to pick all these other entities, all these other energies that they come to me and they stay with me because it's like, oh yeah, this is what we are. It's an identification, right? It's quite simple. Imagine also like it would be like a light colors. There's colors, and then the entity is having the yellow color. Suddenly you are, oh, I'm yellow color, and then the entity comes to the yellow color. It's like, oh, this is me. This is the light. This is what I am, right? So that's an example also to understand this in terms of frequencies and energies. Okay, so that is that simple. Sometimes when we don't have ability with this or the experience, we tend to say like, "Oh, I might be fine. I might be alone. There's nothing with me." That's what we do, all of us, when we start with this or when we don't know how to manage it, and it's like, "Oh, I got cleared one day 2 years ago," and then it's like, so I don't have any entities with me. My experience is that there's all the time entities around. And the other thing is if that entities affect me or they get stuck to me or not, and then how to manage that is also beautiful to learn it. And because then you see that many times that you are feeling things, it's not about you. Okay, that's also an exercise with the entities, but also with energies in general, to learn to see what is your energy. Okay, because probably we spend most of our lives, okay, that is me. I have my own energy, my own truth, but I'm so influenced all the time by the other people, by the different energies, but by the entities. And then is what is me? It's like I believe that many of the things that happen to me or the way I function, it's me, but it's not really me. It's things I picked from out. When I'm more aligned to myself, I'm like, oh, suddenly you are dealing with things differently. It's not even you make a big effort to change it. Like, oh my God, I'm just working hard to change this. That's another thing, when people goes in like, oh, I have to change this and it's very hard and I have to impose myself to change this. It's like, okay, this is not doing it from the being. It's something we are trying to do from the mind. I've seen that a lot lately with some people that were telling me like, oh my God, I have this problem, but I have to change it, and the idea to change it is by force. Like I know I have to really stop this, so I will, almost punish myself or ban this thing from my life. So I have to, and when I hear this, like, oof, so complicated. Do you get the difference? This is something done from the mind, and what we've been talking is about being present, being aware, being conscious, you know, be willing to see what is beyond the rational mind. Of course, we can polish things from ourselves, from the rational mind as, okay, I want to be different, I want to change this way of functioning. That's fine, okay? But if I'm not aware of how energetically we function, in my case, I see it more difficult. Okay. This is also depending on each of us, how we want to move on, how we like to move on, what's good for us. Okay. We are also all different. Some of us we function more from energy. We like to see this side of the creation. Some not. Okay. That's also up to you. Okay, so then how do we hear the voice that is ourself, our true voice? Here's the point, right? So in my case, I explained that before. When I connect with myself in my being, there's not necessarily a voice. That's also something to understand is we are looking for the voice because we are, let's say, we are based on the head. Okay, we are seeing life through our head. All the tension is in the head, all the way of perceiving is in the head. But what do? We do the filter of the mind. We use the filter of the mind, right? So that's why we are expecting also a voice. We're expecting a clear voice, right? Of, yes, I should do this, you should do that. And wait, sometimes it's the right way, okay? But what I've seen is that when I'm aligned with myself, with my being, I can know what I can do, what is a great thing for me without hearing a voice. But there is this communication where there's energy. Okay, so that's another thing to have on clarity. when we want to hear ourselves, to not also be expecting a voice only. And here we will open another chapter, as when we are talking about voices, about channeling or connecting with guides, your guides or beings of consciousness, beings of light, okay? It's also there. As there are the other beings we talked before, the entities that are maybe a little bit lost. There's also another kind of entities that they are more even destructive or less constructive, or even kind of like a heavy energy that they try to distract you. So all this is there. For sure is a very big topic, and we cannot cover everything here and talk about everything, but it's part of it when we are talking about voices, right? So also when we want to hear that voices that are our guides, or that is an information that is great, which is very connected to our being, okay? That's another thing. We make it a lot about, yeah, I connect with another being for sure. It's another entity. But when we go beyond the mind, there is a connection there. Okay, this is another being, but it's part of me. Okay. Same with the guides. We all have the guides, the entities that are the beings that are supporting us. And at the same time, we have this, what we can call the higher self, or our true self, or ourself as a being, which is also in a high frequency state. That's also something we can tap into, and we can practice with that. We can start to connect with this self, with the self. I don't necessarily call it the higher self, I just say myself. But with this, I'm de-identifying my mind from that. My mind is my mind. I have a personality. I got all many kinds of inputs during the life, and these inputs and these ideas are changing. These ways of behaving and are changing because I'm willing to also, right? And we all do that. We are able to change. We are able to evolve. Okay, it's also interesting to see it this way. I can change it if I'm willing to evolve, to get greater, to get better at something. The truth is that things are moving. Life is moving all the time, and we can move in different directions. If we are moving in a constructive direction, we will improve. We will get greater. If we are not having that purpose, we can get very lost. We can get stuck in a reality and a life that you can see that around there's a lot of things happening to make you distracted, to make you doubt, to stay comfortable. I say comfortable, quote unquote, because what seems comfortable sometimes it's basically deviating yourself from what you really want to experience. Okay, and that what you want to experience comes again from hearing yourself, the being, your voice. Okay, and from there, when we are aligned to that, when we can hear ourself and our voice and our guidance, magic starts to increase. Okay. Is there questions, guys? Please share your questions here in the chat. I'm so happy to read you. How is that? How is your experience? I don't know I know just one person here or two maximum, and not so much. So I'm happy to know how is it for you, if you are able to have clarity with that, with yourself, if you sometimes have these or not, or you didn't experience it ever. How is that for you? I will read it in the chat if you want to share, so I can know a little bit more how we can continue with this. We're probably going to have an exercise also, but first I want to see also what's your experiences, your situation. Even,
Enric,
yes,
I have a question.
yes, thank you, please. Go
So
on.
Today I have a conversation and sad. I being a vulnerable, but suddenly I am aware that this person doesn't really present. So I got angry, but I I aware that I angry with myself, or I just what is this like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, here's where for sure, first of all, let's say you are angry or you got that energy, right? And that's not wrong. I mean, it's also we have to be kind to ourselves to whatever process of this is showing up as maybe many times or repeating the same pattern. Okay, so that the where
Yeah,
it
yeah,
comes,
that's
uh-huh. Yeah, and then
yeah, repeating
sometimes,
the
yeah, when it just happens, we cannot do much. I mean, we can do for sure. I mean, of course, that's the moment to do something, but sometimes it's just so strong and so automatic, or you cannot do anything else. You know, it has its own power, this thing, and probably even its own purpose that at some moment can be fine. For example, the energy of anger, this kind of intensity, it can be a protective energy also, you know. Imagine someone is trying to cheat you if you cannot have this energy and you just need to be fine and then not be able to be clear. Maybe you just accept something that is really bad for yourself or for your family or whoever is with you. That's also why it's a training, you know, and we have all these experiences. So any of the experiences, we have to also be grateful because it's like, oh, okay, what can I learn from here? I'm learning something. I'm seeing something from this. Okay, so that's first of all, that's something interesting to do when the thing happen. For sure, it's very annoying, and especially when we feel heavy in our bodies and oh, why this situation again? Okay, yeah, but okay, then it's here where I start to use my power, my vision, my inner vision is like, okay, what's here? Okay, yeah, I'm angry. What do I do with this situation, with this person? And then see if that anger has any purpose, as I can do something with it. I mean, I can't really change the situation. And if I can change the situation, how can I change it? I mean, I can do something different. I can talk to the person, you know, to really have this conversation with yourself. Of course, that you can do it only from a place of a bit of peace, right? When you are very altered, what comes is all the anger, like, oh, I want to do something, you know. So starting this conversation with yourself, and of course, if you don't have any clarity at the moment, you have to wait a little bit, maybe, you know, wait a little bit till you are a bit more calmed. There's many different ways to get there, to get to have this clarity with yourself. In my case, I allow that. I mean, if that shows up, I allow it. I've been allowing it for a long time, and I believe that that can be also very important. This process of allowing it, of allow whatever you are feeling, because if you suppress it, it can even get more stuck. You know, because you are not acknowledging it. That's a bit tricky. You know, you get upset, but at the same time, you don't want to get upset. Um, so it can be even easier to just get upset, see what happened, and then see what you choose after. Okay. I mean, allow that emotion or that energy that is there. Okay. And then see, do I want to continue there? Here's where it comes the big work, let's say, or process of like, okay, I got upset. I'm probably right about it. I didn't like this thing. What do I do now? And then do I want to stay there? Do I want to stay longer with that? Here's where it comes the process of like, hey, see where you want to take your life to, where you want to take yourself to. Do I want to be always in that energies? Not really. So here we get to be committed. We get to work a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to change this. Okay, how can I change this? How can I change it? Okay, and what I realize is that many times there, this interaction that creates that, probably the other person was already having a bit of this energy. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's just me, okay? But what I said before, also acknowledge it, because if the other person is also pointing at you or, dropping at you a lot of this energy, acknowledging that that's coming from that side also, it can really help you also like, okay, this person just was in that vibe. He or she was not really happy. She was not really kind. This is not a judgment. It's not about making wrong the other person. It's just really seeing it, seeing what's truth. Okay, getting the clarity. Okay, here is that energy. Then okay, do I want to continue the fight? Do I want to respond the same way? Do I want to go for it with this way, or what do we want? Because for me, for a long time, I've been mm, how can I say, at the beginning I was very silent or quiet because I learned to, okay, don't get into troubles. You have fear, you learn or you've been taught to accept things just because. So at some moment of my life, some years ago, I started to then say, okay, no, I need to start to say more. What is my truth? What is my opinion? Even if it's opposite that than the opinion that is there in front of me or what the other person is trying to sell to me or to impose to me or to whatever, right? And I've been practicing that a lot and I still do it, right? And it's beautiful if you can be that committed to yourself. But I can say that at some moments I would then confront more. I mean, more than now. Not that it's more than normal. I also didn't being like a crazy fighter, but we all have a part, right, of fighting, and we are in a in environment that there's fight, at least in the mind, in the ego, right? As a, oh, I have the reason, I'm the right one, you are not, or something like that, right? So then is where I am now is to, okay, to see that energy is to see that there's a fight. I've been really challenged lately the last year or the last 2 years with a lot of situations, but it's been good for me because I've been seeing that, okay, now I'm not anymore in that fight. I don't want to be there. So then people, just even friends, partners, people I know suddenly confronting me, even like almost like bringing the fight. And I was surprised, like, okay, at the beginning I was really surprised or, what's going on? And I would, confront. But after happening with many people, it's like, okay, this is something for me. Now here there is something for me to look at it, to see how do I want this. Because many times the fight is not even my business at all. It's like the person, that's what happened. The other person has this, backpack or this bag with full of all these relationships they had, all these conflicts, and then suddenly you become the right person, that makes them put all these things that they have out. That's what happened a lot, and if you are not aware, you're doing the same. It's not like the people just do. No, we are the people also. We are part of all this game, all these situations. So, but the difference is that I'm aware. I don't get lost in that fight. I can start to see this, see that okay, this is not something about me. When this person is projecting on me all these bad things, evil things that I'm supposedly doing, or that is accusing me, sometimes not even accusing you, but they are in a fighting mood and they are just talking to you in a fighting mood. And that can even make you feel strange or confronted. Okay. So here's when you can see this. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm not going to follow the same thing. I'm not going to stay there with that. And how do I stop that? Simply just not feeding it. Okay, and the beautiful thing, I'm really surprised with myself and happy, and I can say it because I didn't experience before, and that happened especially this year with some situations. I've been able to handle it differently. Not running away, not afraid, not silent, that and feeling bad, and not fighting it, and not confronting it, and just, oh yeah, I know what's my truth, and I see what you're doing. And what I'm saying is what I say for myself. What I say to the other person doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. You know, it's about the presence that you are with yourself. And I know what I can do, not from my head, like I will do this in this situation. No, no, no. You do it on the moment. You don't know how things are going to be. Okay, that's something also about being in consciousness, being in awareness. It's not about you have things, you know, prepared or planned for each situation. It's more, this is the situation now. And to follow my voice, what I do is follow my senses, my heart, my body, and my guidance that is okay. Should I do that? But if it's not a clear thing to do it, okay, don't do it yet. Wait a little bit. I feel by now, I feel to at least not engage right now with this person. You know, it's we're becoming more also present with your senses, with your sensations, with your perception, your awareness. Okay, that's also the voice. I would say that probably that's the one of or the clearest voice of the of your being, of yourself. That is all these senses, sensations, perceptions that is guiding you. Okay, and what we said before, it's through the body that we can get most of this. Through the sensation in the body, like, oh, do I go and I talk to the person now? And it's like, oof, no, not now. Or then you are thinking about it and say, no, no, I will not go. And then it's like, oof, the energy is there. You know, sometimes it can come as an excitement. That's also something to acknowledge that if you've been blocking a lot, then it's difficult. It's little bit more difficult to see it because it's normally you just suppress it. And you know, when you get your heartbeat so strong and it's like, this thing is like, oh, and then should I go? Should I talk or not? So many times that's also the energy that's saying, yeah, go, you know? So yeah, it's good to practice, you know, to be open to that practice. It's not to avoid the experience. Okay, the experience is here for something. So if that happens, it's for us, it's for you. It's for me, you know, it's like, oh yes, that's also where you can also rely more in your life. I mean, trust more your life, trust everything. That's how you also get more into them, into have magical experiences because there's no separation from the bad experiences and the blissful and great experiences. Okay. When we see it as separate, as the bad thing is just, it has no purpose, no sense, and it's terrible, then I get stuck there. I don't see the greatness of it. Is that point clear? Which is not easy. For me, it took me a lot, but I can say right now I'm on that. I'm like, yeah, everything is just really, I mean, everything is amazing. Even when it's not showing up in a nice way, it's like, okay, it's perfect. Here's where is my power, what I will do with this. And here's the thing with the control, it's like, okay, I don't have control over everything. I cannot have it, but I have some control or some strength, some power into how do I deal with it? How do I react? How I'm going to react to it? How I'm going to move on with it, okay? Okay, is there any more question? I'm just seeing one or two of you, so that's why uh I don't know how you're doing, how it's going. The ones I see, I get more if you are following me, or I can connect a little bit easier. So let me know if you have any comment or how it's going. What would you like? more to listen about this thing, about this topic. Yeah, you can share it. You can open your mic as well. Meanwhile, we enjoy the space, we enjoy the presence, the sharing we are doing here. Even if I'm not talking, we are communicating. That's another thing. All this subtle communication. Okay. All the energy that has this call, also the topic we chose, it's also doing its job. Also, especially I work a lot with energy, so in some of the meetings I do, or for sure in the classes I do as well, what happened, it's a lot about energy. And it's good to also talk about it and be clear with some things, but the truth is that we can work a lot with energy. We are energetic beings. All what's not visible through for our eyes, physical eyes, it's just energy. It's how is made everything, right? So how cannot exist energy? Okay, that's another lie that's been imposed or implanted in the world, in the society to not be aware of this, right? That's why we need now to educate ourselves, or to also re-educate, or to let go a lot of things that we took as real, that are limiting ourselves now. These things are limiting us because, like, yeah, I have this, this top limit here, this edge, where from there I cannot go more. Okay. And from there is like, no, there's nothing else. No, this is not true. No, I cannot feel anything. Okay, it's been a journey for me, more of 15 years dealing with this, dealing with all this, especially in Europe, where all this, the energy, the spirituality, it's been something very persecuted, like really uh, abolished, really removed from the popular knowledge. Some parts of the world, it's much more alive. And here, when I would do all these workshops, or sessions and things, and you will always get this kind of opinion from outside, saying, "Oh, but this doesn't work," or "I don't trust in that," and all these things. And it's fine. We don't have to fulfill the people that is not willing to see this. Okay, that's why it's so important to focus on yourself, because you can know what is real for you, what is fine for you, what is truth. Not be very busy with the other ones. Yes, sorry, please go on.
Okay, Enric, I think I have a question that
Yes.
actually this is the problem that I had a few years ago at that time when I can't differentiate between intuition and uh, negative thoughts.
Mm,
There are times when I have negative thought and I'm afraid that it will come true.
mm,
And there are times that I have negative thought and I realize it as it's just negative thought and it becomes real. So it must be intuition,
mm,
right? Not just a simple negative thought. So
mm,
after realizing that I can differentiate between intuition and negative thought, I
mhm.
become anxious
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I don't want to miss the alarm, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it. I don't want to misinterpret it. But sometimes if I follow my negative thought,
Mhm.
it will ruin me, right? It will
Yeah.
ruin my energy level, right? So how to differentiate it actually?
Thank you, Sari. That's a very good question. And I think that's one of the points of, like, yeah, of this thing of trusting. So first of all, what I said before, for me to be able to hear that intuition, that voice, we need to be in the body. We need to be very present with the body. Because look at all this confusion is just on the head. You got the information already, like, don't go there. And then what happened? The process is that your head is who is taking over this input and say is the administrator of this input. And it's telling to you, the head, from your head, you are saying, oh no, don't be bad minded, all this and that. It's for me, it's very hard to get this clarity just in the head because the head can really go further and further and anywhere with this, doubting and saying, yeah, oh, this might not be true. This is true. This is not true. It's very difficult to get clarity in the head. So my proposal is to go in the body. That's why I work a lot, and I believe and I feel that I have a strong connection with my being in my heart area. That's part of how I work with the tools of Pulse of Life that I created, whereas, okay, here I can feel myself, and here's where I get trust. Then what happened? That the mind starts to relax also. And then, as I said before, then all this clarity and information doesn't come necessarily in the voice or in the process of like, okay, this is this, I will do that, this is true, this is not. No, no, it's the heart itself, your being itself knows it's okay. I have the presence. I heard that thing, and through these senses of the body, you will know if that's true or not. It's like really following that, following that sensation of, oh, I must go there. Okay, but not from the head, more from there is a yes inside you. There's a there's there's a pull, there's something that you feel it, okay? And if it's the other way around, it's like, oof, this sounds very nice, it looks very pretty, but my body is saying, not really, oof. I feel some heaviness, I feel some strange energy, okay? Also saying this, it's not just, oh yeah, you do this, you do it, and that's it. It's a practice, right? Imagine that you would learn that in the school when you were a kid, you would have totally no doubt about this. You will be already like so easy with that. But what happened? We didn't learn to hear ourselves. We always learn to make things out of us more powerful than us, more important, more intelligent, more everything. That's how it functions, limited reality, where we put the authority out of us. Okay? That's what's done in the society with the education, with the indoctrination, the imposition of ideas. Okay, it's okay. It's how it is. We don't need to get angry now with our teachers when we were kids and our parents. They just did what they could. But now we are the adults that we can take care of this now and see how we move on. Okay. So this is the other thing. We need to practice it. Okay, and it's not wrong if you are mistaking it. But I get in my case, I learned a lot of this by traveling because I traveled a lot, and then when I was traveling, I was, traveling. It can be like that. It's very nice, but it can be a challenge because you are suddenly in a place that you don't know anything. You don't even speak the language. Whatever. You are even. I mean, you can be even almost lost. Especially depending how you travel. I used to even travel at the beginning as a backpacker. That's where I learned the most in India when I was 23 years old. Well, I learned something, not, I don't know if a lot or not, but something I learned into that, especially into trust, because there as a foreigner, everyone was trying to cheat you all the time, right? And really like next level. It's like the terrible. I never been in a place that they tried to cheat me so many times. And I was so fed up and it was very challenging. But at some point I was like, okay, I could get to this point where what you say, like suddenly something is like, or it's me or not. It's like just say know it clear. It's true. It's my awareness. Like, no, I don't want this. I will not do this. I will not trust you. And look, if I miss someone that was with a good intention, I don't care. But at least I perceive something, you know? And that was very much before I started to work more with energetic tools and that. So it helped me to develop this intuition. Okay, so there's many ways to develop it. That's why it's good to follow ourselves and break through, you know, these comfort things that we have sometimes. That is like, yeah, I'm just perfect here doing this thing. I don't change anything in my life. That's what I said before at the beginning. If we are not using the energy of life to grow, to evolve, we don't do it. That energy goes into another direction, into another way. Okay, so that's also nice ways to see it, to have this, you know, to know that the life is a source. Life has itself this pulsation, this vibration that is there, just wanting to take you through a journey of fantastic things, marvelous things, great things, hard things, maybe also. Okay, but trying to be, let's say, to not get into it, you know, to not to get into entirely into life. It's not a good way to move on with life. I know that what I said can be resonating a lot or moving energies, because you can see that for many people they are confused, or maybe even many of us sometimes we've been confused, or we are confused with that. We are like, oof, nothing moves in my life, nothing changes, nothing. When we look outside also we can think this like, oh no, nothing moves here. Doesn't matter if it doesn't move out. Let's listen to inside. You will see there's a movement. And you know the best of this is that in this movement that is, you know, that is in with energy, once you acknowledge this movement, this huge vibrant movement of life, you get calm and you can be relaxed and things are moving magically. You lose stress, you lose pressure from getting to move the things, because that's from the mental reality. You think you have to do everything, you have to make it hard, you have to work hard. But from the this reality of trusting, knowing what is you, what is life, what is the energy, you are in. You are one with it. Your being, your body, your life becomes a unity, becomes one. And they are different, you know, the body is a biological creation, amazing. And we wear things and we want to look good and all these things. We want to eat, we want to do some things. The being is that consciousness, that presence, and then the life is a mystery. Okay, but if we can go together with it, it's just we are, you know, in the right track. Okay, so thank you very much for the questions. And I know that there's a lot more with this, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to give the most I can with that, but I would say that it's necessary also the practice to get to, you know, to be more confident with that. Okay, I was thinking to do a practice now here together, small, you know, session, a small connection to clear a little bit energies that are there, and also to connect and listen a little bit more our own energy. Okay, So let's do that. Are you ready for it? Yay. Good. So let's, or do you have another question? Not really, right? I think we are all fine. So let's go into that. So you can get a comfortable position if you want, just sitting or lying down, doesn't matter. And just start to be present with your body. So starting from that, from seeing how you feel, how is your body? How is your body feeling? How is your position? You want to move your position? You want to just move your body just because the body wants to move. Do it. Okay. This helps you to relax. Okay. See that when we are busy with something, we are not moving the body freely because we are so focused into the situation and the thing. That's why it's so important to do things, beautiful things with our bodies, to be more connected to our bodies. Okay, and let's take a deep breath through our nose. Another deep breath through our nose. This helping to relax. Another deep breath. Okay, and we are going to put our hands in our chest, in our heart. Then we're going to bring our attention there. Okay, so we are going now from the mind. So we're going down through the head, through the neck, till our heart. We can do it again. Our energy, our attention, our presence go from the head down and down, the head, the neck, to our heart. Okay? So we have more attention now here. With our hands, we feel the energy, we feel the warmth of our being. Okay, so we are increasing this attention here, this sensation of warmth. We can feel this energy increasing. If our attention goes away again, somewhere else, no problem. Just put attention again in your hand. What you feel with your hand and what you feel in your chest, the warmth, the energy. So we go there again if we get lost. And we increase this presence. We want to feel our being. We want to feel our vibration, our pulse. And this pulsation, it just increases more and more when we put attention to it. It's increasing more and more, growing, becoming bigger. The whole chest, the whole upper part of the body is Resonating is vibrating. It keeps growing down the body and up the body, just growing and growing along the body. The shoulders, the arms, all the belly and stomach area, and keeps increasing down to your legs, keeps increasing up to your neck and head. And now your whole body is vibrating with your pulse, with your vibration, with your frequency. Allow this frequency to be strong. It's you. Allow this sensation to take over. It's you. Allow yourself to find you. Allow yourself and your energy to remove anything that is not you. Just stays back, stays away from this ball of energy, this energy that you are now, that is the whole body. And everything that is not this, it just stays away, it just goes away from you. Including the head and all these thoughts, all this programming, all these memories that are in the head, so they also can be cleared. They can go away a little bit more. With this, it can get to a point where you are in silence and you are hearing yourself. You are tuned into yourself. And this is your voice. This is you. So we stay here a little bit more, just knowing that you can have your voice. You can hear yourself. Let's stay a little bit more enjoying this, allowing our system to adjust, to release, to increase the frequency, to allow the whole body, all the cells of our bodies to vibrate with our original energy, with our real energy. And you are in this ball, this bubble of energy, of frequency, of vibration that is you. Everything else is out of it. And your body is being cleared. And we will do a last practice. Stay here. I will guide you to something else now. We'll do some exercise now. So now, in front of you, coming out from your heart, see yourself in front of you, the being. Just imagine it, just do it. Wherever you see it, you don't need to see anything, you can just imagine it. It's here in front of you, you, the being, the energy. And now look at you and ask if there is something that you want to say to yourself. Just be willing to hear it if you have something to say, you, the being. It can be just anything. Something you can say to me, I can say to myself. And if you don't hear it, it's fine. Also, just receive the energy of this and of your being. Okay, and now the being in front of you can come back to your heart inside of your body. Again, be present with your body now. Expand a little bit more your energy. All this potency, all this vibration, make it even bigger than the body around you. Bigger and strong. Okay, so you can stay there. You can stay with this space, with this energy, this position if you want. And if not, you can take a deep breath and move your body. It's up to you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. And let's keep going with becoming greater. If you move after, if you need to drink water, just listen to your body or rest if it's time for resting for you. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon. Bye bye. Thank you. By the way, the energy keeps going. I'm just stopping, but I know the energy keeps going for many of you. So just stay there, okay? Don't force. You will feel when wake up, okay? The energy is moving, working on you, okay? Bye bye.
Thank you, Enric.
Welcome. Bye bye.